Welcome to Festpod. Here we are for yet another episode in a different place.
A different place?
Yes, where are we today?
We're down in the Big Smoke, that London town.
That London town. It's a special one for me. I've never recorded in London before.
Yeah, no, neither have I. It's what a big occasion.
It is, and for those of you watching, there are two elephants in the room, so let's get rid of that.
Whoa. Who were you calling an elephant?
So, we don't have Lee Ellingham for this one. In fact, he has decided that he has better things to do. So, he has left us. So, best wishes, Lee. Thanks for podding with us from 2020.
Gonna miss you, man. Thank you.
And Eamon Short from New Toxeter, just off the A50.
Just off the A50.
He is still with us. He's still alive.
We think. He was last night, anyway.
Yeah, unwell, though. Unwell. So that's why he's not here. So we have Mr. Rich Holmes.
Hello there, sir. How are you?
I'm all right.
Good.
In the pissing down London town.
London town. Oh, I'll tell you what. I had a great journey down. Genuinely. I mean, I feel like I'm moaning about traffic, but today, M6, M6 toll, M1, Bosch at Stanmore. Happy days. Unlike yourself.
Yes, I'm Neil Wilkinson, and I had a slightly more interesting journey down London on the motorway network. But that's boring. We won't go into that.
Yes.
So we are here in London for our last sort of in-person jaunt of the year, because it's the end of festival season, Rich. We can't just keep...
It makes me sad.
I know. Yeah, it is. It's a lot of effort to come and record in person, particularly when it's hundreds of miles away.
I mean, you got the two most northern people from the pod.
Yes.
And we're down in bloody London.
Yeah. So, but we made it happen. We made it go right. We've made it down south to give you episode 49, which will be a little bit more normal in terms of content to what you're used to if you're a regular listener. So what I'm going to do first of all is invite you to follow us on the socials. So have a look on YouTube if you're not already watching us there by searching for Festpod. Yes.
Hello, YouTube.
We're all over the place, so if you want to follow us on social media, do people still do social media? It seems to be falling out of favour, doesn't it?
It does, but I mean, I think there's still people there.
Do you think?
Yeah, even if it's just 6 people, it's there.
So if you want to follow us, Festpod is what you need to search for, or you can find all our links on our link tree, which is linktr.ee, linktree/Festpod. Are we mentioning the website at this point?
Yeah, I mean, we can do. We're very, very close to launching the new website, festpod.co.uk. It's all there, pretty much good to go. I think we're just going to add another section before we put it live. I want it to be finished before we go live, but it's imminent.
Ooh.
Imminent. I'm literally proofreading, QA checking everything now, and we're like,
really?
Yep.
Exciting. I haven't got a woo sound effect.
Do you want me to woo for you?
You can if you want.
Woo.
Okay. So look out for that. When we'll tell you, it won't arrive with a whimper, I'm sure. It'll arrive with a great big
bang
and a holler. Now, if you're listening to us on your podcast app, don't forget there is a video version on YouTube, so subscribe to us there. Or if you're watching us on YouTube, subscribe to us on your podcast app and take us with you. So next, we are going to be looking back on the summer of festivals in the UK in festival news. Way!
That was a better woo, wasn't it?
I know. So we've been to so much this year. We've been to the HMA's Festival back in May.
Yeah, it's a long time ago now, isn't it?
Yes. Now, it's unfortunate that Eamon isn't here because he's probably got the best memory of all of us
Really?
for the HMAs. Well, I arrived late and you weren't there at all.
I think from what I understand, he was quite inebriated.
Yes, he was pissed as a fart all night from what I saw. But from what little I did see, this is the thing, you see, it's so far away, London. And getting here is such a fuck about. So you have to set off basically the day before. You forget how busy it is and how much traffic there is and how many people and cyclists there are everywhere in your way. So, yeah. But yeah, I had car trouble. It was a fucking nightmare that day. But I did get there and it was like the Brit Awards on a smaller scale.
On a more metal scale.
It was very metal. And I mean, I wish I could say more about it other than I saw one prize given out and I saw one performance and that was it really.
I mean, the big thing is Festpod were invited to Wembley Arena to cover the HMAs.
Yes.
So, welcome to Wembley.
Yeah, we were invited there along with a lot of other people.
Yeah, but... don't take the shine off it.
So we didn't get as much. We wanted to be on the red carpet, didn't we?
Yes.
But there wasn't room because I understand it was a teeny tiny red carpet.
Well, that's why I didn't travel, because I got a little bitchy, hissy fit, and I was like, well, they're not giving us red carpet. I'm joking. I wasn't well. But no, yeah, I mean, you were there to experience it, you did some stuff on socials. We talked about it. We're talking about it now. So it's still nice to be invited.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. So, and I would go again if asked.
I'd definitely go if as long as I'm well.
I'd love to see the whole show.
Maybe you should come down with me in a diesel car, not electric.
Well, maybe. So then comes, I think in terms of order, it was Slam Dunk next.
That sounds right. Yeah.
You didn't go to Slam Dunk, did you?
No, I'm glad I didn't.
Yeah, it was a bit of a fucking
clusterfuck.
Just a little one, just a teeny tiny one. So when I got there, I went to the one down south with Lee Ellingham. So I'm sharing his experience as well.
Big fan of the show, I hear.
Yeah, well. And it was long queues on the roads getting in, like very long queues. And the car parking situation was, you were supposed to buy a ticket for car parking before you arrived. Turns out some people did and some people didn't. And the people who were marshalling the car park were sort of not really sure what they were doing. It's that old chestnut of stewards not being fully briefed on their job or what the owner wants.
Yeah, I mean, that's basics, isn't it? I mean, you should have your event plan, your event guide, your SOPs, and
SOPs,
standard operating procedures or practices.
Right, okay.
And they can work through that, and they know exactly where they are. If you've got somebody on a car park gate,
yeah,
and they've been told everybody's pre-booked, you'd expect it. So
yeah, who knows?
I feel for them.
The weird thing is that the exact same thing happened in Leeds up north. They
Was it the same company?
Well, I would assume it. I can't say for definite because I didn't go to the one up north, but I think it was. Now, it wasn't just on the way in that there was trouble. There was also trouble inside, in so much as there were queues for absolutely everything. Food, water.
Shit.
Yeah. Everything had massive queues. You would wait an hour for a food van.
Fuck off.
Yeah, absolutely. So, there was a lot of agitation. But again, that was the same up north. So you wonder what's going on. In fact, they have released a statement to sort of distance themselves from what happened. Slam Dunk Festival would like to address issues which have been raised across the weekend. We recognise that there were problems and that some customers did not have an experience to the standard which they expected. we would like to apologise for the issues which occurred and reassure our customers that we are committed to improving the event. How long has it been running for?
Years.
Okay, fine. Yeah, it did seem like it was oversold to me because there were so many people there in such a small space. It says here, we would like to assure all customers that neither event was oversold.
Oh, that's put you back in your box, doesn't it?
And customer safety is and always will be paramount.
Obviously.
Yes.
Obviously.
Right, like all other major events, all our event plans were reviewed by local authorities and are in line with industry standards. So how did they fuck it up so much?
This just reads as a, fuck off, this has nothing to do with us. Local authority, safety advisory group have authorised this event, they've licensed us, fuck off.
They said it was all right.
Yeah.
It wasn't our fault it didn't go to plan. Well, in response to the car parking and traffic issues, funnily enough, there was the same thing at Download, wasn't there?
Oh, we'll get there.
We'll get there. As previously highlighted, there was an unprecedented number of cars arriving to the festival site who hadn't pre-booked car park booking. This, alongside other external factors, like what? Created a traffic flow issue, which inevitably caused delays into the site. I'm like, come on.
Sometimes you need to put your hands up and go, we fucked up.
Yeah.
We've learned from it. This is what we're doing to make it better. It won't happen again. Sorry.
We're also aware of access issues and will be contacting our access customers directly for the feedback. It seems to be the access customers who cop for a lot, to be honest.
Yeah, from this and obviously what I experienced at Download this year as well. It seems to be a bad year for access customers, and I mean, I'll be honest with you, I've not looked into it enough to know what the issues were at Slam Dunk for the access customers.
No, I didn't actually. I mean, there's so many issues. I mean, it's hard to keep a track of all of them.
Yeah, where'd you find it?
So that's all from the official Slam Dunk Festival statement. So have a look at that if you give a shit. But I mean, in terms of my experience watching bands, it was all right. You know, it wasn't my favourite festival.
I need to retract the statement. It does go on to say we are sorry about the issues that were encountered over the weekend. We take full accountability.
Oh,
and we are committed to improving our service. I do apologise, Slam Dunk. I hadn't read it and bothered.
Oh well, forget it then. You know, but that's all right.
But you know, they have apologised. You know, they've taken ownership of it.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens next year.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. I mean, personally, I won't be going.
And that's the problem, isn't it? I'm sure it will put a lot of people off.
Yeah. Well, I've heard lots of people talking like that. You know, they don't want to go again because it was so awful.
People have said the same about Download, though, haven't they?
People are always saying that about Download. Speaking of which, Download Festival this year, now we did get invited to that as press. However, we didn't really do much of it as press. It was... I don't want to say chaotic.
I think when you got a festival size of Download, sold out 120,000 or whatever it was, 2 nights of Metallica, it had drawn more attention maybe than it usually did, and I think obviously there's always a lot of press there, but maybe there's a little bit more this year. I don't know. With it being the anniversary year and the extra day, and yeah, it was. I mean, you know, like cards on the table, we would have invited as press, but we did pay for our tickets.
Oh yeah,
so we didn't get a freebie off Download for this because we'd already purchased.
Yeah, by the time we got offered press, yeah.
Plus, obviously, we're RIP, so we wouldn't slum it, would we?
No, that's it, because you know they're not giving away RIP tickets, are they?
No. So we couldn't slum it in guest and press camping. So you know, we obviously. So I think for me approaching that, it was okay, but I have paid to be a punter here as well. Yeah. So I don't know whether maybe I was fucked as well that weekend. I wasn't having a good weekend.
No.
Mobility-wise, I was fucking in a bad place.
It's a massive site, though, Rich, isn't it?
It is, and with how busy we were on the Wednesday, with the Boardie Takeover. I said that right? Boardie Takeover or the Takeover?
See, I've written it as Boardie Takeover, so I'm not surprised you've said it out loud. But it is, you know, who fucking knows what it's called? That thing that we went to.
It was busy.
It was so busy. It was such a busy, and the number of people there, as you know, the punters. which was
Yeah.
it was sold out, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was busy. But, moving between stages was difficult.
Yeah,
it was busy. But,
Yeah,
it was busy. And
That's the word, isn't it?
Busy.
For the entire weekend.
busy.
Weekend. But I mean, I still enjoyed myself.
I had a good weekend on the whole. Obviously, I'm an Access customer as well. I didn't use the platform on main stage. However, they'd rerouted that and put it at the other side of the arena due to Metallica's setup.
Oh, yes.
I did use it at second stage, which was fucking terrible.
Was it really?
The queues for it, people pushing in, like having one security on and not able to control it because of the sheer amount of people. And you've got people leaving second across the top. You've got people going into second, and you've got a queue of people who are static, some in wheelchairs, some on crutches. And there's about 5 or 6 lanes of people walking all in opposite directions, and it was
chaos. By the sound of it, Rich.
As somebody who's trained in event management,
yeah,
and crowd control, I was shitting myself,
right?
Because just watching the movement of the crowd,
yeah. And are we talking just sheer demand for the Access platform?
Sheer demand, and the amount of people who are at second. Fair play. I mean, the guy on there was doing a bloody good job. He was working hard.
Let me guess, was the one bloke trying to
bloke.
fucking hell.
There's one bloke. Then there was the volunteers who assist as well.
Oh, I see. Okay,
but they're kind of up the top on the actual platform.
Oh, yes.
There was one security.
Yeah,
and I mean, there was some Access customers which didn't help either, because they were saying, "Oh, well, we need to use the disabled toilets." Oh, yeah, okay, in you go, and then just go, fuck off, and walking up to the platform.
Really?
People have been queuing for like an hour plus to get on the platform.
Oh my god!
For Evanescence, this was for.
Wow.
But yeah, I mean, it was busy. And they had traffic problems, which wasn't fully their fault. Obviously, there was bad accident on the M1, wasn't there?
It's like all the sort of bad things that could possibly have happened, apart from something terrible happening. All the sort of unlucky sort of things that could have happened.
It was like the perfect storm of
That's
all,
the phrase.
all these things coming together. I mean, there was a point where we were coming from opposite directions, weren't we, for some reason? And I texted you, and I said, "Oh, we're here," and we were about 4 miles away. Because you stayed the night before somewhere, did you?
I stayed locally in Donington, as I do every year.
So you'd come from Donington.
I was in the fucking village.
You were in the village, right, coming to RIP. I was 4 or 5 miles down the road.
Yeah.
And I got there about an hour and a half before you, didn't I?
That's crazy, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, so, I mean, then, there's been statements, there's been things issued, we apologise, it was all planned before. I mean, it's hard. It's because I love Download, right? I go every year, and there comes a point where you have to say, "Look, come on, come on,
and pull your socks up." But again, there was a lot that was out of their control.
Yeah, I know.
As was with Slam Dunk as well. There was stuff on the road networks that was out of their control. It happens, and if you get then all your volume of traffic coming from one way. And then you get people who have been told they're parking in this car park, but they've decided they don't want to park in that car park. They want to park in another car park. It creates holdups, doesn't it?
I think I've heard anecdotally so many different stories about what people were told, which direction to go, and how it wasn't necessarily the right way. But it's
you can't please everybody.
No, I know, and it's not like you go to these festivals wanting to have a shit time, looking for things to complain about.
But the thing for me is, if you go into an event, whether it's a football match with 10, 20, 30, 50,000 people, or a festival with 120,000 people, you expect around the venue that is going to be queues.
Yeah.
There's going to be waiting. There's going to be bad traffic. You're going to wait to get in and out. And I think the British are very good at queuing, apart from when they're in the cars.
Oh, yes. I think that's true.
Yeah.
However, we did go to the Boardie Takeover,
We did.
which I've only got positive things to say about.
Yeah, it was brilliant.
There was 5 bands who got picked to play on the Takeover stage, who all just fucking mullered it. It was amazing.
Can you remember them all in order?
So, in fact, we need some music for this.
Okay.
You ready?
Oh, yeah, baby. Give it to me.
Starting off with Andromedas,
Great bunch of lads.
the 5 guys from Bristol. Is it Bristol?
Western Supermare.
It's one and the same, isn't it, really?
I wouldn't say that in Western.
It's the Southwest. Next up, all the way from Scotland, it's North Atlas.
Great bunch of lads.
The Thor lookalike, who, in person, perhaps Thor's little brother. Anyway, next, it's Crushed by Waves.
Fucking mighty great bunch of lads.
Yeah. I mean, are we allowed to have favourites?
I mean, I'm in love with Aaron Prime, so yes.
Yeah.
Aaron, love you.
Yes. I love all of them.
Oh, yeah. Honestly, 4 of them nicest guys you'll ever meet.
Yeah, absolutely. And they're from the Northwest.
They are.
Don't know why I'm mentioning where they're from each time, but there we are.
It's important.
Next up, it's Confessions of a Traitor
Great bunch of lads.
from London.
And just done a US tour.
They have, I was watching on their Instagram, actually. Great bunch of lads.
Great bunch of lads.
Yeah, really good. I just love them. I just really love them. Anyway, so to wrap this up, October ends
Great bunch of lads.
from Greece
They're from everywhere.
and the Northeast.
Yes.
So,
I love that. Was great timing. You really, really worked that, didn't you?
I used to be on the radio.
No. No.
And I don't know if you feel the same way as me, but don't you feel like they're all, you're sort of their mother. You've taken them under your wing and you sort of love them a bit.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I do. And it was so nice to work with all 5 of these bands and just the interaction still on socials after, still goes on each way.
Oh, yeah.
And it's, we've been to see Crushed by Waves as well, haven't we?
We have. I mean, we do love them. We do love them a lot.
Sorry, I'm just thinking of Aaron.
Yes.
Do I need to take my hat?
Have you got your hats?
It's in my bag, hang on.
Oh, God.
Oh,
Well, basically, we went to their gig in Manchester. And when was this? Some time ago. It pissed down, didn't it?
Fuck me, that was wet.
And we arrived like drowned rats.
Jesus, I was still wet when I left.
Yes. And not just in a sexual way. But yeah, we given some lovely merchandise, some hats that say Crushed by Waves.
They're great for keeping your head warm in the winter.
Yes. Well, we haven't seen you winter yet, so we'll see about that. But yeah, I love all the tracks. Like I said at the time, I bought all their music with my own money because I love all the bands, but Crushed by Waves is because you can like bands but not spend money on where you wouldn't buy the album.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
But I did.
Great bunch of lads, and we're going to see them again.
When is that? Is it in the gig guide?
It is in the gig guide.
Oh, we'll talk about it then.
Yeah.
But yeah, we love them. We really do. So we can keep this music around, can't we? For Crushed by Waves.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what else did we see? We went. I went to Radar Festival.
Oh, you did. How was that?
That was very nice, actually. It was in Manchester, in Victoria Warehouse, which is basically an old warehouse.
Shit off. No way.
Yeah, it was. It had been done out inside beautifully. It was all like brickwork that was clean and not shitty. Bars. It was very tastefully done. The only thing I would say is very dark in there. They're not keen on putting lights on. So just bear that in mind. But I got accosted by a listener in there who watched Sleep Token with me.
Oh, how lovely.
So she was there at the start of it and was missing by the end of it. So I think she must have got caught up in it all. But I have to say, it's a cracking little venue. I think we're talking maybe 3,500, 4,000 people.
That sounds about right, yeah.
With 2 stages. You've got a big main stage in a yes, I'm doing the actions with my hands, you see. I talk with my hands.
Yes.
I'm gesticulating.
Masturbating.
And you'd got a great selection of metal on the main stage. You could actually, it was very nice actually. You could watch either from the what you would call the stalls, on the in front of the stage. Yeah. But there was also, if you went upstairs, you could watch them from a balcony, which had another bar upstairs. Oh. I know, yeah.
Wow.
Really good. Then you've got a second stage, which is a small, sort of maybe a third of the size around the corner in the same sort of bit. So if you went upstairs, you'd also got stalls, like a little sort of market, like you would have at any festival. You'd got like little market stalls, but they were very sort of musician oriented. You'd got Scan guitars. Now Scan I associate with computers. I had no idea that they did guitars or guitar sort of equipment.
You learn something new every day, Hill. Every day is a school day.
I know, and they were a sponsor. They were the sponsor of the festival, and so they had competitions. They had bits and bobs going on. They had all kinds of stuff. There was like a gaming area.
Love a good gaming area.
Yeah, like with classic games that you could have a go on and stuff. It was great. It was a nice little festival.
That's what you want.
And it was the first one I've been to that you don't stay at. No, it's not the first one I've been to, but it's the first one in the city. You don't really assume festivals are going to be put on in the middle of big cosmopolitan cities like Manchester.
It's very true. Very true.
In a place like that, but it really worked. I did get press for that actually because they offered it to me. So there you go. So I only went for the one day. But I managed to see Sleep Token, one of the fucking best Sleep Token gigs I've ever been to. It was the atmosphere in there. I mean, I don't know if it was because of the number of people in there, but it's like, it really felt like a sort of, you could feel the love for Sleep Token. You could really, it was just extraordinary.
It's nice. It sounds like you had a really, really pleasant and loving experience.
I did. You know what? I was there the next day and I watched Crushed by Waves there as well.
Oh, Crushed by Waves.
Yeah. But I wasn't at the front for that. They didn't see me.
Oh.
And I did wait around as well to try and meet them.
I
like a fan.
Remember you sending a video.
Oh, I did an Instagram live.
Yeah.
Yes. But no, Hevs was there as well on that day.
Yes.
From the Boardie Takeover.
The Takeover?
Or the Boardie Takeover, whichever we're having today. And didn't meet her and didn't meet Crushed by Waves. But I know they were there.
Sounds like a bit of a bust of a Sunday then, to be honest with you.
Well, it was very dark, like I say. So you could pass people. It's like, I nearly said something really inappropriate. It was like a dark room, if you know what one of those is, Rich. Do you know what?
I do.
Do you?
Yes. I do.
Okay, all right. Well, we'll not go into how you know, but anyway.
I'm a man of the world. I know things.
And if you don't know what it is, Google it. Google image it.
Not on your work computer, though. If you're listening at work, don't do that.
Yeah. Google Maps. Google Maps it. And go and visit one. So, after Radar was Bloodstock.
Open air.
Open air, is it? Right.
Bloodstock
See, I've
open
been
air.
saying it wrong.
You've been saying Bloodstock open arse, haven't you?
Just a little bit.
But you might also find in the darkroom.
Oh, well, anyway, so give me your thoughts, Rich, on Bloodstock this year.
Fucking banging.
Banging?
Yeah.
Again, like a dark room. We were invited to that as press.
Sorry, did you want more thoughts than just 2 words?
Ideally. we've got a couple of hours to fill, you know.
Bloodstock was phenomenal.
Yes.
Well organised as usual. I've got to say, we were there as press, and the experience with the PR team, the experience with their press tent, and that whole setup was pretty much spot on. It was pretty much perfect. I've not really got a bad word to say about it, apart from it was quite busy on the Saturday and Sunday, so it was really difficult to do interviews.
That's all I would say negatively about it. It was just very busy.
That's not a negative. It's very limited on space. Medium-sized festival, very limited in the VIP and press area.
Yeah, but we're falling over each other, really, weren't we?
Yeah, I mean, just extend it out towards the shitters a little bit.
Yeah,
into that little kind of L shape. And there was so much more space.
Do you know what I liked at Download is that they had table and chairs out and some nice set pieces. So if you were there with a camera, you'd have some nice visuals.
Yes.
Pot plants and stuff, and almost outdoor sofas.
Yeah.
And like table and chairs and stuff. And it was just a nice place to sort of sit and film, I suppose. We didn't do any of that because the getting bands to come and speak to you from Download was sort of like it was a random occurrence. You know, maybe it would happen, maybe it wouldn't.
Yeah.
However, there's nothing else we can say about that, is there, Rich? You know,
no.
That's literally what it was like. You might as well have walked around and just perhaps bumped into one of them.
It was very much, and I mean for Bloodstock, we did pre-book a lot of our interviews, thanks to Stephanie.
Oh yes,
our PR bitch, and secretary and general dog's body.
Yes.
But obviously, we picked up some of the days as well. There were the bands were a lot more open to speaking to anybody at any time if they're there.
They found us, didn't they?
Yeah,
they walked up to us.
Exactly. So, massive shout out to Michelle and Kirsten from Cosa Nostra PR, because I thought they run it fantastically.
Yeah. Would happily do it again, to be honest.
Oh, absolutely. I'm really hoping that we, get invited back next year.
Fingers crossed. So I think that's all of them, is it? Have I missed any out? Because I can't. We've been so busy this year, Rich.
We have, and it's been bloody great. I wouldn't change it for the world, other than actually getting more out there. I would have liked to have made it to Trees.
Oh yeah.
And out Tangent.
Yes.
Unfortunately, just couldn't do it financially, or struggled with time as well, time off. But I think we've had a good summer. We've had a productive summer. We've had some good times. We've had some great content. We've met some great bunch of lads.
We have.
And long may it continue.
Well, yeah, we've discovered some new bands, which
that's what it's about.
Yeah.
That's what it's about. We picked bands you probably never would have found, and we've stood and had a chat with them for 15-20 minutes, and then there we are. They're on my playlist constantly now.
I mean, there were people that we were scheduled to meet, but unfortunately didn't meet, and that's just the way it goes sometimes. Things happen, but that's not to say we won't get the chance to meet them again in the future.
Absolutely. I mean, I was devastated when I couldn't interview Candlemass at Bloodstock due to they were late, I think, getting to the festival.
Oh, really?
However, their PR guy has said that we can arrange a video interview with them. So I'm still going to get it. I'm still going to be very, very excited for that.
And also still hoping to grab a few minutes with Adam Gregory.
Adam Gregory, who's welcome on the podcast anytime he likes.
Absolutely. So that is...
Great bunch of lad.
Yeah, that's our year in festivals. Some other news now. The Download 2024 car park pass will cost 29 quid.
Fuck me, that's expensive.
It is, isn't it, for parking your car?
Yeah. In a field.
I know. So, what does it say here? For Download 24, a pre-purchase car park pass will be mandatory for those attending by car. So you can't just turn up. You can't buy one on the day.
What are they going to do if you turn up and you haven't got a car park pass?
You'd hope they'd thought it through, wouldn't you?
Are they going to refuse entry to the site?
Now, it says here, each pass will have clear directions unique to the location of the allocated car park. Routes will differ per car park to ensure the best possible entry into the event and transport experience for festival goers. So they're trying to say that you must go to this car park, the one that's on your ticket. I guess they will be turning people away. That's how it... I mean,
it's how it reads, but in reality... If you were a steward on a gate,
getting paid minimum wage, yeah,
paid minimum wage, working a 14, 15-hour shift on your feet,
yeah, as I have done, yeah,
and Timmy turns up in his car with his kids in his village, bringing his kids to the first festival,
yeah,
and he hasn't bought a car parking pass. What are you going to do?
Just drive up there on your left, mate.
So does it solve anything? And also, if you get an arsehole turn up who hasn't bought one, you get a kick-off, and then that then disrupts the traffic flow as well.
Yeah, it does.
I'm not condoning this. You need to pre-purchase your car park passes. You have to do it. It's going to be terms and conditions of entry to the site, so they will have every right to turn you away, as they would do anyway without this in. But yeah, are people going to follow the routes on the passes that they've been given?
Well, bearing in mind the rumoured acts who are headlining next year, I don't think they're going to have as much bother as they did this year.
It's probably going to be a slightly smaller year.
Slightly.
Slightly. But I still think it's going to be... I mean, if the rumours are true, then I'm excited.
Are you really?
Yeah, oh, absolutely. A lot more excited than I was this year. But people do what they know. So if somebody drives in the same route and they have done for 20 years, they're going to drive the same route regardless of what your ticket says.
You do that with Bloodstock, don't you? I've noticed.
I do that with Bloodstock, yes. I'm one of those arseholes.
Because they were directing you around that road, weren't they? But you went down that road.
Yeah. Because I love that little bridge.
The little narrow bridge that you have to...
But for me, and obviously... I say that like normally, but like we stayed in a cottage up on site. We didn't stay on site, so we were locals. We were actually local traffic coming to the site, so we used the local roads because that's where we were.
I see.
Rather than being total assholes about it,
right?
There was one evening I went the other way, and I went back to the A34 on the suggested route.
Yes,
just because I felt like it doesn't matter to me. I can do it once. I mean, I wish I'd made Steph do it when she drove because she fucking hit the bridge with my car, but hey.
Oh, no. Oh, for fuck's sake. It's only a car.
Yeah, it was only a wing mirror, it's fine.
It's only metal and tin and rubber. Now, you're a vapist, aren't you?
A vapist? Be very, very careful how you say that.
I've seen you with your vapes.
We're not going to have a Dispatches episode, are we, about me now?
Oh, I didn't actually watch that, but I know what it was about, and I heard all the doings. But anyway, that's not
anywho, yes.
Yeah, let's not. Anyway, so
I am a vapist. Yes.
Okay. Strawberry,
cherry.
Cherry, is it? Oh, okay.
Cherry usually.
Right.
I know it's a good cherry. But I like my fruity flavors.
Okay. If you were told that you couldn't vape at a festival, would you be pleased about that?
Now, let me expand on this, because they haven't banned vapes.
Oh, really?
They've banned disposable, single-use vapes.
Oh, I don't know anything about vapes.
So you basically, you either got your, what you call a mod, which put batteries in, rechargeable batteries, and then you put your tank on top, your juice in. That that'll last you a year or whatever.
Oh, really? God,
the box will, yeah.
Really?
Yeah. And then you can get pods, which are replaceable pods with an internal battery, which you can't change, and they'll last however long the battery lasts until it won't charge anymore.
Oh.
And then you have disposable vapes, which
Right.
you get about 600 puffs out of,
Yeah.
and then you throw it away. And they're made of plastic. They've got
Okay.
batteries in.
Yeah.
So it's about reducing single-use plastics, reducing the battery waste. So it's not banning vaping, because if it was a blanket ban on vaping, then they'd fuck off if they'd ever get my custom.
So this is at Reading and Leeds, isn't it?
So yes, I'm wondering whether download comes next.
Yeah, because everyone's on this crusade, aren't they, to ban plastics and whatever, which is fair enough.
Same parent company as well.
Is it? Oh God, of course it is.
Festival Republic, isn't it?
Is
So
it
it's-
really?
yeah.
Oh Christ. Okay, so bear that in mind. That you might have to figure something out.
Interesting. I'm sorry, I was looking at the Facebook post from Reading Festival about this with the poster on it. And there's a comment on there from a Luke McAvoy Briley. Glastonbury banned vapes, but the shops still sold them, and funnily enough, they only confiscated the unopened ones. So,
Oh, interesting. Okay,
absolutely.
worth knowing. Now back to download. We've now there haven't been any official announcements from.
We've got to be close. We've got to be very close now, I would have thought.
Yeah, it's September. It's sort of mid-September now, isn't it? So, we're expecting a headliners announcement from Download, but until then, we have some rumors, or basically, Google has confirmed for who the rumors are. So, some people have Googled certain acts, and they have come up as being.
Do some festival maths.
Yeah, go on.
And you, it's not a stretch at all for the rumoured acts to fit in.
Yeah.
But also, once one person mentions it, another person mentions it, another person mentions it, and then all these web crawlers and AI bots that populate these things on Google,
Yeah.
pick it up, and they get more and more sources for it, and then it's seen as fact, so it posts it. So it could just be AI being shit, and the thing that's going to kill us all, and take my job.
Yeah.
Or it could be actually that the rumour's solid. Now, where this rumour's come from gave us a rumoured lineup for this year's download.
Ah, did it?
And it was spot on.
Really?
So we'll see what happens.
So the rumours are Rammstein.
I love Rammstein.
You've been to see them in Wales, haven't you?
Been to them multiple times, yes.
Was it Cardiff you saw them?
Cardiff was the last time. I also saw them in Milton Keynes as well, and I've seen them at Download.
I've seen them at Download, a few years ago, yeah. Amazing show. I mean, just like nothing you've ever seen before.
Yeah, absolutely. The first time I saw them was at Download, so it was a festival show, but it was still incredible. And but then you see their headline stadium shows, and it's another level. Now, for me, I'd love them. I'd love them to play Download next year. But it's just the whole show thing isn't as big a festival.
Yeah.
So it does. They don't need it, but it's who they are.
Yeah.
You know, and it's as long as there's lots of fire, as long as there's lots of pyro, and yeah, it's just great.
Can you imagine getting press and taking your camera and doing photos for Rammstein?
It'd fucking melt.
Again.
After fucking in flames and kill switch melting my camera.
Yeah, Bloodstock.
Yeah.
Did you get your lens replaced, by the way? Or should I not ask? The other one, who else is that? Iron Maiden is the other one, I think. Is the other.
I have no words.
You've got no words. How many times have you seen them?
74.
So have I. I couldn't care less about Iron Maiden. I don't listen to them. I've seen them more times than I care to remember.
See, Steph likes Iron Maiden, but she probably wouldn't watch them because she's seen them about 73 times.
Really? Yeah.
So, I mean, they always put on a decent show. They always sound good because, as they should do, they've been together long enough. But would I be bothered? No, probably not. I'd probably get pissed instead.
Yeah.
My night off.
Yeah. And Avenged Sevenfold.
Yes.
Who I've seen before.
Yes.
Not really.
Really?
I'm shrugging.
See, I thought Avenged was more your kind of thing.
I'm just not very impressed.
The phenomenal live. However, I'm not a massive fan of the new album. I say not a massive fan. I'm not a fan of the new album at all.
I'm more interested in watching Rammstein again than the other two. Just because there's a show. I mean, I've only seen them once, which was years ago, whenever they last performed at Download.
2016.
Was it really?
16?
Must have been a long time ago.
Yeah.
And I'd definitely watch them again, just because of the show. And I don't care about Iron Maiden's show. I just don't care. I know people love them, and I know people like have their massive, like what they call patches on the back of their battle jackets, and they love it, and I just don't get it.
They're a good band, but they're a band who, at this stage in their career, will play an album track which is an instrumental and 17 minutes long. I
like their old stuff.
Now, if you're playing your own headline show, that's fine. But a festival set should be different.
Yeah,
it should be something that's going to bring in the casual observer.
Yeah, I have tried to get. I've said this before. I've tried to get into them, and it just hasn't happened. I liked some of their old stuff, some of the stuff you can sing along to. But how many albums have they had, and how many of the songs do I need to hear from the rest of it? Just play as the ones we know.
And you know, genuinely, when I say this, is my old hatred of Metallica.
Oh yes,
and how I now love Metallica. Now I've seen them and appreciated them properly.
Yeah,
and I've kind of gone full circle on them.
Yes,
I've tried that with Maiden. I can't do it. So it's not like I'm just being a stubborn bastard.
No,
it's just not for me.
That's it. There's metal's a big subject. And it can't all be for you. So
I'd like it to be, but
yeah, well. So yeah, I'll see you in the crowd for Rammstein and whatever else for the other two. Not bothered really. I'm sure there's people who disagree, and you're entitled to that. But that's my opinion, and that's Richard's opinion. There's an interesting story here about who was it now ages ago said about Domino's Pizza being at Download.
Yeah,
was it Eamon? It might have been
yes,
Eamon.
It was, yeah.
And I'd got no recollection of this. I think it must have only been 1 year.
It was just once, yeah.
And I never took delivery of one of their pizzas.
It's about 80 quid a pizza as well.
Oh Christ! Well, anyway, so you've got a story here from Lad Bible. Domino's will be using a jet suit to deliver pizza to festival goers. Just to make sure it's still hot when it arrives with you.
It's a great publicity stunt. And
yeah.
And if it has gone cold, you can reheat it on his jet engine, can't you?
But how would you flag him down? Because surely, if you just saw him flying by, there's an amazing picture of him here with like a jetpack suit on, with a Domino's outfit and a cap, and like one of those, like on the back of a scooter, you might have a little box.
Yes,
he's got one of those on his back, just flying over the tents. And I have to say, it does look like Download. But you'd flag him down and say, yes, over here, yeah. Even if you hadn't ordered.
Yeah, you would, wouldn't you? You would. I know, I would, yeah. Yeah, it's, as I say, great PR stunt.
Yeah.
Probably a few years off this, but hey, whether you love or you hate Domino's, people love it, people hate it. If you love it, and you can get a Domino's delivered to your tent at a festival.
I've never had a nice pizza at a festival.
Really?
Yeah, and I've had a few.
Oh no, I've never had a bad one.
Really?
Yeah.
Where do you go for your pizzas?
So like the wood-fired pizza place. I don't know if that's what it's called, but it's a wood-fired pizza oven. I think it is called. I don't know. But yeah, no, I've downloaded. I've never had a bad one.
Really?
Bloodstock as well. Yeah.
Mine are dead sort of cardboardy and
really.
Yeah. I'm obviously going to the. You've obviously found the right one to go to.
Come with me next year.
Yes.
And we'll pizza it up.
Yes, exactly. No jetpacks for us. We just say that they're trialing it at Glastonbury. So I wonder how that went. Festival season's over. We're short on stories this time. But it's just, I wonder how loud as well that is. I wonder how loud the jetpack is. Quite loud, I should imagine.
It's going to be quite loud, I'd have thought.
Yeah. If it's enough to lift a man off the ground with a big, nice pizza.
Yeah. It probably wouldn't lift me, though.
A jetpack?
Yeah. You'd have to have like a super jetpack, like something that kind of like get you hypersonic or something like that. And
well, if we see them, let's give it a go, shall we? Would you be up for that?
what, you want to kill me? It'll take me up and they'll go, oh yeah, fuck you, you heavy fucking bastard, and it drops you on my head.
No.
Are you just trying to reduce the numbers down to you for this pod? Is that what it is?
No, I just want to see you in a jetpack suit with a.
I mean, yes, I'd love to give it a go. To be honest with you, I would.
I think you should.
I'd give it. I'd steal a pizza though.
Yeah, we could just go up to them with the pretense of wanting to try the jetpack and just take the pizza.
Oh yeah.
Or we could just buy one like normal people.
What's the fun in that?
I know, exactly. Now, if you went to Download Festival this year and tried to get some merchandise, you might have been unsuccessful. Because the queues... Oh, my God, you should have seen the queue.
Were they bad?
There were lots of big queues for merch. I queued up a few times, but didn't actually... maybe I did get to the front eventually after. Do you know? I got to the front of when at the end of the night when it's really quiet.
Yeah.
And I got to the front then, and they'd got nothing in my size, 0. So you can now go to the Download merch website, which is shop.downloadfestival.co.uk, and order some merch. Now they seem to be doing reprinting on demand, and now that I look again at the hoodie, which I really wanted at the time, I don't think I want it now. I don't think I want it anymore. I don't know why. It's quite similar to the year before. I've got one to the
very similar to the year before.
Yeah.
I think it's one of them which it looks okay, looks good, and at a festival, especially if you've had a couple of beers, you think that's fucking amazing,
and everybody's wearing it around you. Yeah. I wasn't that enamoured with the t-shirt selection. I did get one t-shirt which was a size too big, and I don't really want to wear it because it looks like shit on me. I don't, if there's one in my size, which now there could well be. Let's have a look at the random t-shirt here. For £25. Please note this product is made to order and will take longer than usual to print and dispatch. So somebody must have had a word and said, look, nobody managed to get a t-shirt. Or half of the people who wanted one managed to get one in their size. I don't know what the figures are actually on that, but it must be low. Did you get anything?
No, I didn't buy any merch whatsoever from Download this year.
Nothing?
Nothing at all. Did I? Have I forgotten? Did I?
I don't know. I'm trying to think.
No, I didn't. No. I've got my RIP gnome in my garden.
Oh, the fucking gnome. Yeah.
It's in my garden.
Okay.
Yeah. But no,
mine's still in his box. In my flat.
At least it's not in the bin.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, no, I didn't buy anything.
Did you see anything you wanted?
No. It was a mixture of queues, and I wasn't overly fussed about anything, which is the first year I've never really been fussed about getting something. I usually like to buy a lineup t-shirt.
Yeah, me too.
Or something. I didn't feel the desire to do it.
No. I wasn't that interested in the designs. I didn't think they were particularly nice.
I mean, I'm just going to segue a little bit here into a merch conversation. You run a metal festival. You're in charge of the commercial arm of it.
Right.
So you're sorting out all the retail stuff, all your merch and everything. And you look at your demographic of people, and you look at what you've sold the previous years, and you look at just people in the crowd.
Yeah.
And I know there's people who wear smalls and extra. I know there is. I'm not saying that. But a lot of metalheads have got a bit of muscle, bit of shoulder, bit of a beer gut maybe if you're of a certain age. Why aren't there more XLs and XLs, 2XLs and 3XLs? Because those are the ones that sell out first. They're the ones that people are always asking for. Order fucking more in the first place.
Yeah, it's not difficult, is it? I mean, you wouldn't think it was difficult. They seem to make things difficult for themselves.
Yeah.
But I'd say that's the same with any festival.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. This is a generic kind of gig and festival merchandise conversation.
Radar Festival did quite well. There was a lot of decent sizes and a decent selection. I got a hat, like a baseball cap, and a T-shirt from them, which is quite nice, actually.
See, hats, right? I look like an absolute cunt in a hat, right? But I've also got a really fat head. So my custom Festpod hat, right, Flex Fit, is actually an XL, 2XL.
Oh, really?
Because I've got because of my fat head, and I've often got my ponytail.
You've got lots of hair, haven't you?
Like I tie my hair back, just keep it on my face. I can't. A standard size hat that you get at a festival doesn't fit me if it's a Flex Fit.
I've never heard of that before. Yeah. Flex Fit. Yeah. I didn't even know they did different types of hats like that.
Stretchy backs and everything.
It's good, that, isn't it?
It's great. It's really good. Really good. It's a lovely hat. It serves me well.
Last time I saw it, I think it was covered in orange juice or something like that.
Probably still is.
Yeah, it's a very nice hat, that one. But the thing is, nice things aren't cheap either.
No.
No, I know you spent a bit on it, didn't you? Yeah. So yeah, I agree with that actually. So if you have a look at the website there, they've got quite a few different things. £50 for the tie-dye hoodie. Goes up to 3XL and goes down to small. There's a comment here that says, I mean, it's good, but it's the same as last year, which it is. I've got one of these. So, I just think for the 20th year, there could have been a little bit more. I
think there's probably some complacency as well. Knowing that you've got 120,000 people, knowing that you're going to sell out anyway, whatever the design is, because people will buy it however it looks.
If they'd got it in my size, I would have bought it.
Case in point.
Yeah. Never mind, eh?
This mic arm's really pissing me off.
I know that.
It's not weighted correctly.
No, you've got to fuck around with it, haven't you? Anyway, so no, I just wanted to try that. Just pressing buttons. So on the subject of merch.
You have more news?
More merch news, I'm afraid. There is new Bloodstock merch being released. There's a jogger set.
It's very nice looking.
Would you wear that sort of thing?
Around the house, yeah. I don't go out in joggers. I live in shorts and joggers at home.
Yeah.
I was literally, as soon as I walk through the door, my jeans come off. Hey. Now, I bought the...
Like a stripper?
Yeah, exactly that. It's like... I've got the sides of Velcroed, right? It's just like rip them off.
Yeah, right.
Okay. I have the previous incarnation of this set, which was black with white writing rather than black and red. Now, black and red looks fucking awesome. It is a different design as well. It looks amazing. But the sizing was really small on these last time.
Oh, was it?
So I never actually wore them.
Oh, shit.
So I donated the hoodie to Steph.
That's disappointing.
It's far too small for me. And yeah, the joggers didn't even go around one leg.
They look really nice, though.
Yeah. I mean, like the embroidered hoodie they brought out mid-year last year, with it was embroidery on the hood.
Yeah, quite a nice one.
Hoodie, beautiful hoodie, really, really good quality, really warm. You know, not cheap, but it's a decent quality bit of kit. I love that. I live in it. You know,
does that fit you okay?
Yeah. It's perfect sizing.
Really?
Yeah. So it's just different manufacturers, isn't it? Different supplier.
It's so tricky. You know, a large that fits one person isn't necessarily going to fit another person, and you know, it's so tricky with that sort of thing. I wish they'd standardise it all, but they're not really going to do that. So if you're a Bloodstock fan and you like the idea of, is that all they've got? I'm sure they've got more stuff than that, haven't they?
There's a sign, Bloodstock sign with Cat and Park D12 on it.
Like a road
sign. Yeah. And there's a calendar coming out. It's all the first ever Bloodstock calendar.
Really?
Yeah.
With pictures of what?
Blood and chicken stock, I'd have thought.
Okay, nice. Is that what do they have in December for Christmas? Turkey stock? You see? Always thinking. Now, if you were at Download this year, you might have wondered where the highlights were, because they normally appear as a couple of episodes, like a couple of long episodes on Sky Arts channel. They weren't there this year.
Yeah, we usually get here's 2-3 hour shows usually.
Yeah.
And yeah, Sky Arts, according to Andy Copping, they decided they were going to just stick with the Isle of Wight Festival. Those are words from Andy Copping himself. He says, in my eyes, they completely blew it. Download's 20th anniversary, 4 days, sold out for the first time, yet they dumped us and stuck with Isle of Wight. I am totally baffled.
Fucking stupid, isn't it? You know, more people than have been at Download for years, and they chose not to cover it.
Yeah.
Bizarre.
It is, and it's kind of broken that kind of the post festival highlight show watch parties that people have.
Yeah, it was a proper tradition for people, wasn't it?
Well, you know, me and Eamon used to do it, and it's like I've missed it.
Yeah,
and I've missed reliving it, and I've missed seeing some of the bands that I wanted to that I couldn't see during the festival.
Yeah.
So yeah, I can't believe they've done it, and I hope they get something sorted out for next year, whether it's Sky Arts or another provider.
I don't know that much about Isle of Wight Festival, but in my head, it's a pop festival.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Do they normally do Isle of Wight Festival?
They usually do both, from what I can remember.
Right. Okay.
But yeah, it's
I mean, you wonder why. What's going through somebody's head to think, right, we'll not do Download this year. We'll just stick with that. Is it a cost thing or what? I mean, I
suppose it depends on. It could be, you know, viewer numbers last year were shit or whatever. I don't know what they were. And they decided it wasn't worth the cost and effort to put a crew in there and the recording equipment in there.
Because I tell you what, nobody wants to watch Metallica back for 2 nights. But for those of you who do, I'm being sarcastic there, by the way.
It's a great link, though.
You can buy the Metallica shows separately because they had the foresight to make sure that their shows were recorded at Download, and you can buy them separately. I think I've seen them somewhere. I can't remember where, but I remember spotting them and thinking, oh, look, you can actually watch some of it back. Well, I'll tell you what, you are a perfect candidate for that, because you are a turnaround person, aren't you, for Metallica?
Yes.
Would you buy this?
No.
You wouldn't buy it? You're not bothered? You said at the time that you wanted to go and get all of their back catalogue on vinyl.
Yep. That's what I want to do, and I will do.
No, you won't.
I probably will. Probably will when I got some more money. That's not the time at the moment.
No.
I probably wouldn't. How much were they selling it for? Do you know?
I can't remember.
I
It
can't
won't be
find
cheap
it.
though. I don't know. I don't know.
I couldn't find it. I couldn't find it.
I don't know where I saw it now, to be honest. I mean, you'd think it'd be on Amazon at least, wouldn't you? That's the standard place to buy things from usually.
No, usually, yes.
I don't know.
For me, it's I could sit and watch the Saturday night. I didn't enjoy the Thursday night overly.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I walked away on the Thursday because I was just like I couldn't. I personally, physically couldn't take it anymore.
Oh, right. Physically,
physically, I couldn't take it anymore.
Yeah.
But the Saturday show blew me away. So
What was different? Just the tracks?
No, because they play some really good tracks on the Thursday as well. I suppose it might have just been state of mind and everything. So I'd probably watch the Saturday again, but in my head, I walked away from the Thursday. I don't want to watch it.
Yeah,
because I'm weird. I'm weird as fuck. But no, I'm
trying to remember did I watch any of it, because I know I was asleep for some of it.
You were asleep for a lot of
Yeah.
the Saturday. Underneath my chair for a lot of it.
Well, I remember there was one track that I saw that I liked. I can't remember what it was called though. It was a new one. Oh no, I had to walk around on the Thursday. I was elsewhere. I could hear them.
Yeah, because I watched some from the guest area on Thursday. I went and sat in there because I couldn't make it all the way back to Park Farm.
Oh, fuck.
That's how bad it was. I got proper fucked. But yeah, the days blend into one.
I know.
I know you spent a lot of time asleep on the floor.
And it was a while ago now, actually, wasn't it?
Yeah, it started June, wasn't it? That was 3 months ago.
Yeah, and we've drank a lot since then.
Yeah, I've had a pint or two.
Just a couple of pints. Now, Fyre Festival has re-entered our consciousness. Now, I don't know if you know about Fyre Festival. I don't know how you can't if you follow festivals, but this is this fake festival, isn't it, almost? Or this festival that like a scam.
Yeah, it was VIP camping areas with pre-erected tents with like a refugee camp.
With promise of some amazing acts, beautiful scenery.
None of which were booked.
Yeah.
And it was all about getting influencers in there, wasn't it? That was their business model.
Yeah, this was some years ago now, actually, wasn't it?
There's a documentary on Netflix about it, which is a really good watch. But Fyre Festival 2. Well, it wasn't a Fyre Festival 1, so I don't know how you can name it 2.
No, it's a good point.
And they put the first 100 pre-sale tickets up for $500, and then put other tiers available from $800 to $8,000.
It can't be the same bloke.
Yes, it's still the same bloke, Billy McFarland. It's still got no lineup, no venue, no dates.
And people have people bought tickets for this?
Yeah. He said that, so this is a quote from Billy McFarland, said that the tickets went very, very quickly. No lineup announced. We did not share the location, and we sold out the first drop almost instantly. It's just so incredible to finally have the support to make the Fyre dream a reality and to share it with the world.
Right. Okay. What the fuck? People are actually giving him money for a festival that we know isn't going to happen because he's got form here.
I mean, to quote the article in the NME, okay, so this is the NME's writing.
Yeah.
After being asked if they'd be serving cheese sandwiches, the only food that was offered to the attendees at the disastrous festival, McFarlane confirmed that he would be cooking up cheese sandwiches alongside Andy King, the same person who was, quote from McFarlane, taking one for the team by offering up sexual favours in return for a shipment of Evian water, which was held up at customs.
That you happen to have next to you.
Yeah.
Are you going to buy a ticket for this?
Am I fucked? Not only is it's probably not going to happen, it's in the middle of nowhere. It's definitely not for me, and I wouldn't risk my. I mean, you say lightning can't strike twice, but come on, once bitten, twice shy as well.
Yeah, I wouldn't go anywhere near this Fyre Festival. I mean, you'd change the name of it at least, wouldn't you, just to try and...
I still maintain you can't call it Fyre 2 when there was never a Fyre 1.
No. It's a bizarre world we live in where people like that can have another go at doing a festival that wasn't successful the first time round with the same exact... What the hell?
And it's a shame because there's people out there trying to put on new festivals.
Yes.
And trying to push and promote, and they're getting nowhere because there's no money in it. But if you get the right influencers on board and you can spin a good enough yarn, then you can make a fucking fortune, even if it is fraudulently.
I know.
Allegedly.
Yeah, we're advising that you go nowhere near this. Just be aware of it. Stranger danger. Next up, we have the gig review. So, I went to go and see Royal Blood earlier in the year. At the beginning, I'm wearing a Royal Blood t-shirt.
Very nice.
Yes, which came with their CD. Yes, I actually bought a CD. I don't know why, because I haven't got any CD players anymore, but I guess it's for the same reason people buy cassettes.
Why would you buy a fucking cassette?
Fucking stupid, isn't it? Anyway. So, I went to go and see them at the O2 City Balls. It says here in the script for some reason.
I hadn't even noticed that.
The O2 City Halls.
Doesn't sound as fun anymore.
No, I know. In Newcastle. I love going to watch Royal Blood in Newcastle. I don't know why. The thing is that they don't do as many gigs in Manchester as I would like. They do more gigs in Newcastle for some reason. I mean, it's a fucking amazing night.
How selfish, though.
I know. Well, they're from Brighton, so you wonder, what's the... What's the thinking there? But anyway, they performed. This was shortly after their kerfuffle at the One Big Weekend thing, where they were booked and to play between some pop acts, some cheesy pop acts.
Great booking, BBC.
I know, yeah. People weren't particularly enjoying it, or they weren't there for that. They're not that audience, are they? And so they understandably, but quite shockingly, through hands, they told the audience to fucking enjoy themselves. Basically, we're Royal Blood, we do rock music. Why don't you smile? That's the way to win an audience over. Of children who don't like you anyway. They've since commented on that, by the way, and said they can understand why people thought they were dickheads for doing it, but they were laughing at it. They were laughing at themselves for doing it. But anyway, it was a great gig. It was a really good gig. Quite an intimate venue. It's quite a small place that I think maybe a couple of thousand. Beautiful venue, really nice.
Yeah.
And this, I don't know if it's just a Newcastle thing, but amongst the audience, there were lots of mullets and moustaches. Now, I don't know if there's some sort of event that I've missed where everyone has to...
Not that I know of.
But that's what half the men look like, mullets and moustaches. So, not that affected the gig. It was great anyway. I wasn't particularly watching them. But they were loud as fuck, which I love. the energy on stage is something to behold. This is what I love about Royal Blood, is the fact that they've got some real amazing rock tracks that they just fucking belt out, and considering there's only 2 of them, they're just a real genuine rock act that can. I mean, they've sold out the O2, which I was at, and they can do big venues, small venues. They're just amazing. That said, their latest album is a bit of a departure. Right. It's not the kind of thing that you would expect to hear from them. Lots of piano, lots of slow songs, not the sort of banging,
I need to have a listen to this.
Yeah, you should. I mean, it's not a bad album, but you wouldn't immediately think, oh, that's Royal Blood. Right. Now, Bad Nerves were supporting them. Now, Bad Nerves are a punk band. They were fucking incredible. Do you like a bit of punk?
I love a bit of punk.
Do you?
Yeah. In fact, I was supposed to go and see Public Image last night in the TIV.
Oh.
But I didn't. I couldn't go because I had other stuff to do. But yeah, I was devastated.
Yeah, Bad Nerves. Honestly, look them up. They seem to be quite a small band at the moment, to be honest, but they're on tour constantly, and you know how it gets. You just constantly touring, you get bigger and bigger, get more and more support. Have a look, Bad Nerves. They're really good. Great bunch of lads, actually. I got in touch with them after the show and told them how great they were. And they replied to me and said thanks. Oh, I know, it makes a difference. Do you go to gigs on your own?
I have in the past to a couple. It doesn't bother me.
Doesn't bother you?
I quite enjoy it. Just a bit of peace and tranquility and just some banging tunes.
Yeah, I quite like going to gigs on my own. I'm quite used to it now.
It's quite a good reset sometimes to for me. It works mentally for me as that reset push. But I understand why people don't like it. But like at the same time, I'm a 6'3" fucking ogre, so I can look after myself for a gig. So
yeah, because there's people I know that don't want to do anything on their own. They won't go anywhere. They won't go to the cinema on their own, which I do quite easily. And just an interesting.
I mean, I don't understand what difference is it whether you're sitting watching a film on your own or with somebody next to you who you're not speaking to anyway during the film, or you're at a gig watching your favourite band on your own. Because during the gig, if you're actually watching the band, you're not speaking to the person next to you.
No, I know.
So what difference does it fucking make?
Yeah, I guess there's that shared experience thing, but you can only share the experience and then talk about it afterwards. Yeah. But I had a great time on my own. The one thing I want to mention is the one fucking bloke who wanted to try and make friends with everybody. Fuck off. He was there, honestly, trying to make friends with every fucker who was within listening distance. And I didn't want to make friends with him because he was, when people are over friendly to the point of being annoying and you're like, I don't want to speak to you.
Yeah, no, I get that. Yeah, I understand. Totally get where you're coming from.
I don't want to sound like a miserable cunt, but I'm not here to speak to you. Thank you. Leave me in my own space. I've got used to being on my own now. Anyway, watch out for him at the Royal Blood gigs in the future. Now, I'm not sure what this is here. CrazyFest.
Yeah. So last month, and then end of August, me and Steph, we as a podcast were contacted by CrazyFest.
Oh yeah.
To basically the ones to introduce themselves and tell us what they're about. So we went to one of the warm-up gigs. So what it is he's trying to get enough interest and raise enough funds to put on a festival in Wigan.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. So not a massive one, but he's got 2 potential venues. We're talking to the council about licensing and everything.
Really?
So he's been doing some warm-up gigs to try and boost that pot of money.
Yeah.
Which is, as I was saying earlier, it's really difficult but also to kind of push the interest as well and to get the brand name out there and things like that. Because it's a guy who, the reason it's called CrazyFest is his website is Crazy Gamer. Does a lot of stuff with computers and stuff.
Oh.
But I went to the warm-up gig in the Boulevard in Wigan. It's a lovely little venue, you know, actually. Downstairs, underground, nice kind of bright bar area, the pool table, dartboard and stuff. And there's a back room, which is the gig room. You get a couple hundred people in there. Beautiful. And Lemon Gandhi played, and then Incandescent, and then Enuma Elish were the headliners that night.
Okay.
Now they were wonderfully, weirdly brilliant. There was influences from like every genre, including like doom and stuff, but also like some kind of indie pop kind of stuff as well.
Really? Oh my god!
And they were absolutely phenomenal, genuinely, and just being in the room there with like 80 odd people or so, having a couple of pints, it was just great. And it had been a while since I'd been out, and I didn't want to go. It was pissing down.
Yeah,
I didn't want to travel to Wigan. Steph kicked my ass and said, "Get in the car, we're going."
Yeah,
I had a really good time, and I got back in the car. And the first thing I said was, "Thank you," because I really fucking missed this.
Wow,
I really missed coming to, a dive bar, if you like, and watching local bands and unsigned bands, just being there for the music and nothing else.
Wow.
So yeah, it was a really good night, and hopefully the CrazyFest venture can pick up from steam, and he can get his festival sorted for Wigan. And he's obviously if we said, and if anything happens with that in the future, we'll be invited to go and do that.
It's one to keep an eye on, isn't it?
Absolutely.
CrazyFest.
Check them out on the socials.
Okay. All right, that is our gig review. Next, we'll have a look at what's coming up in the gig guide. So, you like this tune, don't you? All right, so the Down for Life management, is that what it's called?
Down for Life Music.
Down for Life Music tour is happening in October, so we're very close to that. There's quite a few acts you might have heard of, including...
the 2-year break, obviously. Who have just had some Radio 1 introducing airplay.
Yes! Oh my god, it's so exciting.
Yeah. Royals as well.
Yes.
Lightwave.
Yes.
And then a little band called... what's the name?
Begins with C. I think it might be on my hat.
Crushed by motherfucking waves.
Yes.
Who the fuck are crushed by waves?
Yeah, man. Hashtag.
Dead excited. It's a multi-headlining tour of the UK. They're taking it in turns to headline depending on where they are as well. So they're starting off in Leeds at the Key Club on the 12th of October. Before heading to Newcastle to the Head of Steam on the 13th. Manchester in the Lions Den on the 14th, which we're going, aren't we?
We're going to be at that one.
Ah, absolutely. And we're having a couple of beers after with the lads.
Are we?
Apparently so.
Oh, I'll look forward to that.
Yeah. And then they moved down to Bristol. We'll wear the hat, yeah.
Yes.
Definitely wear the hat. We're down to Bristol, Crofters Rights on the 15th of October, before coming to London at the Hope and Anchor on the 19th. And that show is sold out already.
Oh, wow.
They then moved back up to the Midlands to Nottingham to Billy Bootleggers on the 20th. Southampton Suburbia on the 21st, going back down. And then in Bournemouth at the Bear Cave on the 22nd. The tickets are about 10 quid each. They weren't much.
Yeah. And for the quality of acts that you're getting.
Yeah, it's going to be a banging night. 4 great bands from the Down for Life music stable. Marianne's done a great job picking up a couple of these extra bands. And I am really, really excited to be there with you and as a Crushed by Waves fan.
Yes.
Number 1 fan. Fanboy, fangirl.
It's going to be a great night, isn't it? Yeah.
Brilliant. Yeah.
So that's one to look out for. I think there are gigs happening. We haven't written many of them down though. So have a look on the website of some band if you want to go and see them.
This gig guide is all about the Dying for Life music tour, the New Blood Tour 2023. Come on, check out Crushed by Waves, 2-year break, Royals and Lightwave. It'll change your fucking life.
And if that doesn't get you out of the house, I don't know what will, frankly. But you are right there. I'm
not on commission, by the way.
No.
I should be.
But anyway, I think that wraps up my gig guide. Next, let's have a look. We've got our Festpod favourites to talk about, so we're going to recommend one or two things that you ought to cop hold of in Festpod favourites. Right, so this is where we recommend something we've seen that we like. So, Rich, you have something that you want to recommend, haven't you?
Hello there, sir.
Hello.
I'm still here.
Are you?
Yes, so this week I'm going for a new album that I've listened to that came out on the 15th of September, so 2 days ago, so Friday. And as soon as I started work, I might have just put it on in my headphones, as you do.
Yeah.
And that is Danko Jones and their new album, Electric Sounds. And it is absolutely fucking banging. If you don't know who Danko Jones are, Canadian three-piece hard rockers. Favourite track for me on the album is Good Time. The lyrics hit really hard with me. One of them being, I came here to fuck shit up and have a good time.
Oh, okay. And who would you compare them to?
If you just think about there's a little bit of everything in there. There's a little bit of the hard rock, but there's a bit of thrash in there.
Oh.
I find it really difficult to liken them to a band.
Really?
But give them a go, Neil. You might enjoy it.
Danko Jones. Okay, yes, I'll put that in my in my list to have a look at. Have you seen them live?
Yes.
Were they good then as well?
Yes, they were, yes.
Very interesting. Did they come to Wales?
Not that I know of.
Oh. So, what I want to recommend for my Festpod favourite is a pair of Alpine earplugs.
Did you steal them from your Bloodstock?
No, these came through my door from Amazon.
Okay.
They've got my earwax.
Let me get the DNA testing kit out.
Yes. Now, these are these your? Did you have the same ones as me?
Music Safe Pro.
Really?
Yeah.
Because I went on Amazon and I looked for earplugs that were well thought of. You know, because you've got so many stars on Amazon whether people think things are good or not. And you've got 3 different sizes or decibel levels?
They're the acoustic plugs for changing the amount of decibel reduction.
Yes, and they don't block out the sound. They reduce the amount of sound.
Yes,
which is good because you don't want to miss out on what the highs, the lows. You just want the volume down a bit so you don't damage your earring. Your earring. So,
fuck.
You can put in different sizes of to you literally plug them up. You plug them up, Rich.
You plug them up
and shove them in your ears.
As long as there's nowhere else you're shoving them, Neil.
Yes, and I don't know how did you lose them? Because you've got a nice little case here to put them in. Did you lose the whole thing?
Lost the whole thing.
Fuck's sake.
I know exactly how I did it. Just don't. Yeah.
Oh, or should I not ask? So, I mean, they're not even expensive. They're, what, 25 quid or something?
25,
like
30 quid, something like that, yeah.
I can't get the page to load up, so I can't see. But they're the ones I recommend. Alpine Music Safe Pro Plugs, interchangeable, with a very nice, what looks like a weatherproof case as well.
Yes.
To take with you.
I've got to say, they're a great set of plugs.
Great bunch of plugs.
Great bunch of plugs. I've used them for a long time, and they work exactly as they're described. They're the best set of plugs that are kind of a generic plug, if you like, which isn't a custom fit plug. They're the best I've ever had.
Yeah, really good.
Yeah.
Because I have had this thing where I didn't really particularly want to wear hearing protection. But now as I'm getting older, notice...
And it's too late.
Well, now that it's too late, notice that because I go to a lot of gigs all the time, I'm slightly deaf. So there we are. Protect your hearing, kids, because you don't want to end up like Uncle Neil. Deaf as a post. Or, can you imagine what it's like to be Ozzy Osbourne, who is very, very deaf? Do you think he's ever worn hearing protection?
Ozzy doesn't strike me as the guy to wear protection.
No, I shouldn't think so. No, he's not a safe kind of bloke, is he?
No.
Safe is a word they use in Birmingham. Like sweet, sound, sorted, safe. So, I think we're there. Rich. I know, yeah. Our show in London.
That's gone fast, that has.
It always does. I think when we're not speaking through computers, it seems to go faster. And because the other two aren't here, chiming in with what they wanted to say,
We've had quite a productive conversation, haven't we?
we have. Is there anything else you want to plug that you do? I'm not talking about your bum. Richard Holmes Photography.
The bed's finished. Here we go.
No, it's fine. It's all right.
No, I want the bed.
You want you want more bed?
I want more bed. I want your fader wanking for me.
All right, then go on.
So yes, Richard Holmes Photography on the old socials. You'll find some of my photo sets from Bloodstock Open Air
Yes.
on there. I know you've checked them out, and you said they were the best you've ever seen in your life.
Yes, they are.
So there we are, Richard Holmes Photography on the socials.
All right. What am I
I was
plugging?
going to say, would you like to plug anything?
I don't know, really. I don't know if I've got anything I want to plug, particularly. Apart from this. Please click like on all our posts. Make us look good. Not really. Not particularly. I don't think I've got anything that I want to plug apart from this thing that we're doing right here, right now.
It's also worth saying as well, it's not just about liking as well. If you can leave reviews as well. And,
reviews!
Star rating is on your podcast apps of choice. It really does help us out and gets us in that algorithm to other people as well.
Algorithm. So if you like what you've heard, please consider supporting us on Patreon. And a huge thanks to our existing supporters who have paid for this trip to London.
Yeah.
And this studio, which is pirate.com Studios. Thank you for letting us in again. In a rainy London. If you haven't... In fact, there's a thing with the Patreon at the moment. I'm not exactly sure what's happened.
Yeah, so patreon.com/Festpod. I think I couldn't say / correctly then. Patreon.com/Festpod. They've brought out this new kind of membership option thing where you can join as a follower and see stuff on there and posts like that. That tier doesn't get the early access to ad-free stuff. If you're on a certain tier, you get merch after 3 months. The specials, the outtakes, which is often the best part of Festpod.
Yes.
But if you're not in a position to support us, please follow us on Patreon and build our numbers that way as well. As Neil said, thank you so much. This is exactly the sort of thing we use Patreon for. It allows us to get together in person, record these brilliant episodes, and yeah, we couldn't do it without you.
Yeah. Plus, we've had some chats about patrons getting more in terms of being able to watch the show being recorded.
Yes, so we'd like to do a live stream of one of these just for the Patreons.
Yeah. So if you'd like to watch that, you know what to do. Have a look on Patreon and sign up.
Absolutely.
So if you've enjoyed the show, please interact with the video or the podcast wherever you've found us. It does just give us that little leg up in discoverability on the AI systems that we're all living with now. We are on the socials and YouTube. Just search for Festpod. We've also got a shitload of merch on sale as well, all in big sizes. Not just big sizes. Because if you are a smaller person, we can accommodate you too.
We don't discriminate on Festpod.
No, exactly. So go to Etsy, search for Festpod to find our merch. So that's it. Thanks for listening, and we'll catch you next time. Bye.
Bye-bye.
A Wilco Productions podcast.
Sorry, I'm just thinking of Aaron.